I can't. Two words that you probably use way too often. I guess you like those two words. Well, let me join in and tell you what you can't do. You can't afford to fail. You can't afford to take this one life and throw it away. You can't afford to leave no legacy. You can't afford to not chase your dreams. You can't afford to not experience the reason why you were created. You can't afford to not love the people who love you. You can't afford to not forgive the people who hurt you. You can't afford to not give to the one that you know is in need. And you can't afford to not give God the time that He desires from you on your knees. You can't afford to continue to allow substances to abuse you. You can't afford to continue to cheat on the people that remain true. You can't afford to go down the same path and expect that it lead to a different place. And you can't afford to continue to make decisions about other people just based on their race. You can't afford to take your own life. Without life, you're empty-handed. And you can't afford to not give God the time to show you the purpose for why you feel damaged. You can't afford to give up the fight on that disease. Your team needs you here. And you can't afford to remain loyal to people who are disloyal to you out of fear. You can't afford to continue to live for the validation of people who are too cruel to validate. And you can't afford to not open your heart to that person because of your past relational failure rate. You can't afford to be pessimistic about your own future and expect your future results to be optimistic. And you can't afford to continue to make deposits of I can't and then expect a withdrawal of greatness. The bottom line is, I think you're right this time. You can't.